Hey guys, it's me, Speed Supersonic, bringing you guys another video. In this video today, we're doing something really cool, and as you guys know, this is the Sonic the Hedgehog Movie channel, where we talk about all things Sonic the Hedgehog movies. That's not this channel. I just talk about the Sonic movie a lot. But today we're not talking about the Sonic movie that's coming out in a couple months. We are talking about something completely different. Now, I'd like to thank Pat Mack for bringing this to my attention, and when the words "cancelled Sonic movie" came out of his mouth, I had to stop the video and I had to research it myself because I wanted to experience this with you guys. Yes, today we're going to be talking about the cancelled Sonic the Hedgehog movie from back in the 90s. Yes, the 90s. You know what was in the 90s? I don't know either. I wasn't alive. And judging from my fan base, I'm guessing that you guys weren't even alive in 2005, so no offense to my fans who aren't, who are like a little older. Anyways, now I had no idea that there was a canceled Sonic the Hedgehog movie until this was brought to my attention, and then when I look up at the article and it's legit, I was kind of blown away. Now, I know nothing about this movie. I only know that it exists, so we're going to be going in this together if you guys don't know anything about it, but I just think this is such a cool thing to talk about. We never go into the past, because I'm a futurist and I like talking about things from the future. I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, without further ado, let's talk about the canceled Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Let's get started. So back in the 1990s, Sonic was doing pretty sick, alright? He was doing pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna take it down a couple notches, I'm sorry. The games were doing really good. He had 2 shows on ABC, so what's the next thing to do? Make a movie. So the idea came up in around 1993 to make a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. They signed a deal with MGM Studios and Trilogy Entertainment to bring Sonic the Hedgehog to a much bigger audience. And once they got the go-ahead from Japan, it was in full gear. Now, the CEO of Sega at the time, Tom Kalinske, if you guys don't know him, he was instrumental in the success of Sonic, mainly here in the US, and I doubt that he'd be as big here now if it wasn't for Tom. Thank you, Tom. So he was there to make sure everything was going smooth, because this is not just a movie, this could impact the entire franchise. Cartoons are cartoons, they're for kids, and it doesn't really matter that much because they're just to entertain children for a couple minutes. Also, just shut them up! Now, of course, we all know that Mario was the big rival of Sonic back in the 90s, but now they're in the Olympics together, having fun, sniffing each other's butts. It's all cool. But of course, that Mario movie came out, which, I'm sorry guys, I try to watch that thing, I can't even find enjoyment. It's just bad. And that thing flopped at the box office. It flopped critically. It just wasn't a good movie. And he didn't want Sonic to go down that route that other video game movies went down. But movies are so big that they can just impact everything. Now, he stated that Sonic was big enough as a brand to where he could withstand the hard impact of a flop, but there was some fear there. So MGM, Sega approached screenwriter Richard Jeffries. Now, if you guys don't know who he is, I don't blame you, because he just made a lot of really obscure horror films. So this whole thing went into gear around the time that the next big Sonic title was going into production. And of course, that Sonic title is the infamous Sonic Extreme, which we all know is canceled. So they were going to make the movie and the game kind of like correlate with each other. Like a cross-promotion thing. Just kind of cheap, Sega. It's a little corporate, a little greedy of you. Let's see what you're doing there. So Richard Jeffries actually talked with a lot of people from Sega about what to do with the character. And after talking with a lot of people for a while, he went off to write his treatment. So he wrote his treatment, and he came back with Sonic the Hedgehog, Wonders of the World, in May 1995. Alright, here we go. The treatment opens with a 12-year-old boy named Josh Pinsky reading out his school paper on a test pilot named Sonic, who was killed in a plane explosion while attempting to break speed barriers. I'm more concerned with who would name their kid Sonic. However, the paper isn't actually finished and Josh is reading it to the class from memory, and his teacher tells him to finish the paper by the morning or else his parents will be called in. Ooh, Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Jeffries describes Josh as an awkward kid at the most awkward age during the most awkward time of his life. I'm sorry, child, but 12 years old is in the most awkward phase. That was 9 for me. I mean, look at this photo. That was an awkward looking kid. His parents recently split up, leaving him in joint custody. They're really taking me to therapy here. Just kidding, guys. I wasn't in joint custody. Josh feels like a ping pong ball bouncing back and forth between two houses, equally ignored by his mom and dad. And the worst thing is, Josh always ends up feeling like the whole rotten mess is his fault. Josh, it's okay. It's not you. It's not your fault. Wow. Some parents. Josh is picked up from school by his dad. How? I mean, at least he picks his kid up from school. Doesn't make him ride the school bus. Like a peasant. Oh shoot. I didn't mean that. I didn't. There's nothing wrong with riding the school bus. So how's the smart computer whiz? But he's currently out of work because he's smart and he's a computer whiz. There's a cool store called Best Buy. Work at Geek Squad. Is that what they do? What does Geek Squad do? He's always on the brink of some great discovery, or so he'll tell you. He's recently built an artificial intelligence computer which utilizes a unique system of holographic memory, which he dubbed XRI, Extremely Radical Intelligence. I love the 90s. I don't know anything about the 90s. I'm gonna stop saying that. After dinner, Hal rushes out to pursue a lead on some obscure computer part, tells Josh not to touch the XRI. Now he's gonna touch the XRI, isn't he? Though he promises he won't. Of course, Josh breaks into the computer and asks it to write his paper on the test pilot Sonic. I'm confused on where this is going. Is this a CGI movie? When the XRI doesn't recognize the name, Josh plugs in his Sega Saturn and a copy of Sonic Extreme to demonstrate. Oh my god. The treatment reads, "That's when odd things begin to happen. Sonic stops responding on the game controller and discovers a will of his own. As Richard Jefferies described it to me, these kids work out some hack where Sonic the Hedgehog steps through the right door and into the real world, so he becomes a renegade from the game world." Wait, so this is a live-action CGI hybrid? Okay, the one thing that's been in the back of my mind this entire time is 90s. Apparently this was finished and given to Sega in May of 1995. And I'm not sure if you guys know what movie came out in 1995, but that was Toy Story. That was the very first CGI movie to be put out in a movie theater. Like, that was the first entirely CGI film. There were, like, CGI was used in things, but not like a fully CGI movie. And we all know what some things looked like in that movie. It's a decent looking movie. It holds up, right? Okay, yeah. But that's Pixar, you know, they're the best. This would just... I'm gonna stop talking because of the new Sonic movie design. Sonic and Josh stand face to face, two friends meeting for the first time, described in the treatment as a 3D CGI guy in the real world. Oh my. Jeffrey says in a reference to the 3D animation and a live action film, "There wasn't a lot of this at the time, but I checked with my friends in the visual effects industry and we figured out a way to make it more practical. At the time it was becoming more practical to make CG characters into the real world." Oh, okay, Richard. Okay. Instantly, Sonic's curiosity gets out of control, and the apartment is quickly torn apart. Amid all the chaos, Dr. Robotnik also escapes from the game and howls with delight. He's waited years to break out of the game world, so he always had the consciousness of, like, I'm in a game right now just doing my job. He sprouts his spaceship, blasts out of the apartment, and escapes with demented enthusiasm into the real world. I've been saying real world way too much. The shape of the story was the boss also works out how to get through the glitch into the real world. Stop saying that! And he would wreak havoc on the world, let's just say that, okay? With his henchmen and CG characters. Sonic tries to track down Robotnik, but gets distracted and confused by the world. Sonic tries to track down Robotnik, but gets distracted and confused. When he jumps onto rooftops, the chimneys break, and when he hits a lamppost, it hurts him. He races through traffic and causes car wrecks, and when he tries to impress a girl, she screams in terror. Because if you guys have seen CG Sonic from 1995, I'd scream in terror too if I just saw that in front of me. The world isn't ready for a blue hedgehog walking down the street. I don't think we'll ever be ready for that moment. But it's 2019, you never know what could happen, honestly. This has been a weird year, guys. He discovers, though, that the longer he spends in the real world, the weaker he becomes. So, he has, a life meter? Hal returns home to find his apartment destroyed and the XRI broken, and Josh lies, saying it was burglars. Josh's mom, Lisa, comes over, and she and Hal get into another argument, with Josh once again being at fault. Put this boy in a foster home. He doesn't need to be around that. Lisa takes Josh back to her house, and during the night, Sonic tracks Josh down and wakes him up. He's weakened and exhausted, and while he knows the game world like the back of his hand, the real world is very strange to him. How did he find him? He tells Josh that he needs to get his energy back, and to do that, he needs Chaos Emeralds. Josh and Sonic agree to team up, and together discover that Chaos Emeralds exist in the world, encased in ordinary-looking rocks. You just have to know which ones to crack open, the treatment says. The pair find the first Chaos Emerald and Sonic uses it to recover his strength. How do you find those? Josh wants to try some and Sonic gives him a little taste to give Josh superpowers, which he uses to write his whole term paper in 30 seconds. When Josh asks for more, Sonic warns him not to use the power until he can master it. Oh god. It's giving me big Sonic X vibes. I love Sonic X, but I hate Chris. Across town, Robotnik has taken over an abandoned amusement park and plots to use the power of the Chaos Emeralds to control the real world. He recruits a group of school bullies when he gives cyber body parts to turn them into bully bots. These bully bots then start digging underneath the amusement park to smash every rock to find the 1 in a million Chaos Emeralds. Okay. So imagine just walking down the street, having a nice stroll, and then boom, Dr. Eggman as a CGI character right in front of you walks up and recruits you to become a bully bot. The second act of the story sees Sonic and Josh discover the bully bots to get clues as to Robotnik's whereabouts. In some good news, his father has got a new job. Okay, so he's making money now. Good. Only it is with Shady Corporation, who is reopening Ramshackle Amusement Park, now named Botnik Land Amusement Park. With Sonic hiding in the boot of Hal's car, Josh discovers that this amusement park is being run by Robotnik. How did Robotnik buy that piece of land? How did that happen? The amusement park is a smash success mainly because kids go there for free. The free candy, free ice cream. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, honestly. Every kid in town is lining up to get in, but Sonic and Josh snoop around the park and discover that Robotnik is using the ride and Hal's XRI technology to replace all the kids with Kinderbot Roboclone. Okay, now that makes sense. I thought Robotnik was just being cool. Wait, what? That's a Kinderbot? The real kids are put to work digging under the town, cracking rocks, finding the 1 in a million Chaos Emerald. The perfect Angel Kinderbot clones go home with the parents. Oh my god. Child slavery. What a Sonic movie. Robotnik's plan, they learn, is to use the Chaos Emeralds to power the XRI to digitize the natural wonders of the world, like the Amazon rainforest and Mount Everest, which he will then recreate in virtual reality so he can charge big money for the world to see them. Sonic and Josh are dumbfounded. They must stop this evil plan. Yeah, this is very smart. Yeah, Robotnik's motivation is really smart. He's like the next Thanos. Josh is scared, but Sonic tells him that he has to stand up for what you believe in and give it everything you've got. I said that really aggressively. Sonic wouldn't say it like that. He'd be a bit more kind and cool. There's a chase scene between Sonic, Josh, and the bully bots, and Sonic uses all his energy to help Josh escape. Sonic is captured, and Josh tries to tell Hal and Lisa the truth about Robotnik. The Kinderbots, the XRI, and Sonic, they of course don't believe him. Across town, the Kinderbots return home. Clone kids who do everything their parents ask, eat peas, clean room, do homework. That's perfect, that's a parent's dream. Josh is horrified by the Kinderbot kids. He knows they are Robotnik's evil creation. That sounds perfect. Those sound like good children. He fears what a terrible world it would be if Robotnik mechanizes everything. Josh hatches a plan to get Robotnik back into the game world, inspired by Sonic's speech about standing up for what you believe in. The plan was Sonic was going to be the bait, and they were going to lure the boss back into the game world. But what happens is they do that, but the kids get sucked into the game world for Act 3 of the story. Oh no. There's a showdown between Sonic, Josh, and Robotnik, with the good guys winning and Robotnik getting away to no doubt come up with a new plan to take over the world. The treatment reads, Hal, Lisa, and Josh step through the vortex, but there's a sad moment when Sonic decides he must stay behind in the game world. He has to be vigilant against Dr. Robotnik and his nefarious ways. After all, that's his job. The adventure brings Josh, Hal, and Lisa closer together, but Hal decides that the XRI is too dangerous to ever use again and asks Josh to put it away for safekeeping. What do you mean? You can make so much money off of that. You just got a job. You probably work at like a Burger King drive-thru. Trust me, Hal, it'll be worth it. Josh promises not to use it again, but notices a TV screen nearby. Sonic winks at him and then goes about his gameplay business. Aww. Oh. So that was Sonic the Hedgehog Wonders of the World. That was sure something. So the movie obviously never came out, and it never will come out, but why did it not happen? Well, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes between Sega, MGM, Trilogy. They were trying to formulate a story, but also Sonic was kind of fading in the 90s around this point. No TV shows, nothing really was going on in the mid-90s for Sonic, and this movie was going to have a big budget. Like, it was gonna be $150 million. And I guess MGM didn't see it as profitable. And I guess that's for good reason. What if I'd like to see it? Yeah, that sounds like a hoot and a holler. But you never know, maybe we'll get more info on it in the future. That was very interesting. I would have liked to see it. That would have been cool if it came out in like the little late 90s, but I guess we'll never get it. Let me know what you guys thought of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. There is a poll up there that you guys can vote on if you guys would have liked to see it or not. And make sure if you guys have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel because we make amazing Sonic the Hedgehog content, from discussions, news, Sonic merch hunt. We make a plus show for all the little kiddies out there. This channel is all about Sonic. If you guys love Sonic, come join our family. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Speed Supersonic, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Wah!